रघुवीरा रघु Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sitaram Jai Sitaram Sitaram Jai Sitaram Jai Sitaram 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 Jai Lakshman Hanuman. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Vanachari Jai Gaurangi Bangaloreshwara Gaurangi Bangaloreshwara Gaurangi Jai Jagannatha Baladeva Subhadramai Jai Sudarshana. Jai Nitai Chaitanya Jai Nitai Chaitanya Nitai Chaitanya Jai Nitai Chaitanya. Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai Ho. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadha Mayam Dadhati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajeevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 15, text number 3, in continuation with Bhagavatam verses. Please repeat. It's Canto 4, Chapter 15, text 3. Okay, but I will not be able to see. I put it on. It came now. Please repeat. ऋषयोचु येष विष्णुर्भगवतः कला भुवनपालिनी इयं च लक्ष्म्य सम्भूति पुरुषस्य न पायिनी। Translation and purport by His Divine Grace C.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rishya Uchuhu, the sages said, Ishaha, this male, Vishnu, of Lord Vishnu, Bhagavataha, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kala, expansion, Bhuvanapalini, who maintains the world, Iyam, this female, Cha, also, Lakshmiyaha, of the goddess of fortune, Sambhutihi, expansion, Purushasya, of the Lord, Anapayini, inseparable. Translation. The great sages said, the male is a plenary expansion of the power of Lord Vishnu, who maintains the entire universe, and the female is a plenary expansion of the goddess of fortune, who is never separated from the Lord. Purport. The significance of the goddess of fortune never being separated from the Lord is clearly mentioned herein. People in the material world are very fond of the goddess of fortune, and they want her favor in the form of riches. They should know, however, that the goddess of fortune is inseparable from the Lord Vishnu. Materialist should understand that the goddess of fortune should be worshipped along with Lord Vishnu and should not be regarded separately. Materialists seeking the favor of the goddess of fortune must worship Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi together to maintain material opulence. If a materialist follows the policy of Ravana, who wanted to separate Sita from Lord Ramachandra, the process of separation will vanquish him. Those who are very rich and have taken favor of the goddess of fortune in this world must engage their money in the service of the Lord. In this way, they can continue their opulent position without disturbance. So, Hare Krishna. So, first of all, I seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas who are very senior here to please bestow your blessings so that some right words can come in the glorification of the Lord who is supremely pure and who is without any spotless contamination or doubt in his character as such. So I seek all of your blessings. So today, on the request of seniors, so I was asked to speak something in relation to Bhagavatam also and Ramayana also, and somehow in the series of verses that were given, so this purport came in recognition where Prabhupada mentions about Lord Ramachandra, Ravana and Sita. So with this understanding, I was thinking that from Ramayana, totally there are 7 khandas. So in that, every section of Ramayana is very, very sweet and very, very relishing to the heart. So today I just thought to speak from Aranyakanda, the whole what happened in the whole Aranyakanda. So I thought to discuss as such. So it's very important to see from the scriptures where there are many, many verses describing in Srimad Bhagavatam how important it is to read the scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana. It is said, Vitrup, the verse comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam that Shinvata Shraddhaya Nitya Ganatascha Swachestitah Kalinna Ati Dirgena Bhagavan Vishate Ridhi. So somebody who with eagerness and earnestness hears to the glorification of the Lord who comes in many, many various forms, what happens? Within very short period of time, the Lord comes and resides in the heart and all the contamination present in our heart is completely removed. Kalena Atidirgena Bhagavan Vishataridi, and He, the Lord, sits on the seat of our consciousness and keeps it illuminating. So that's why it's very, very important that we keep reading the scriptures and nourish ourselves. So that's why our scriptures are considered to be like our mothers, just like how mother takes care of the child through various forms of care, protection, nourishment, different ways. So never ever a child can forget the favor that's been done by the mother. Similarly, we need to understand that the scriptures are like our mothers. So the favor, the care, the nourishment that scriptures give to us is everlasting. We understand that a child who has not drunk the milk from the mother can never be nourished physically, mentally, intellectually or even spiritually. Similarly, a sadhaka or a spiritualist who doesn't read or hear from the scriptures remains malnourished. So that's why it's very, very important to drink the nectar that's given in the scriptures in the form of the katha that's been given as such. So in relation to that, we'll recite 2 verses from Canto 9 where Sukadeva Goswami himself discusses the whole Ramayana, mentioning that this whole Ramayana is mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. So I'll just give a brief, and he gives a brief series of verses describing the glories of Lord Ram. And especially there are 2 verses which are very, very important in the Srimad Bhagavatam which talk about the qualities of Lord Ram and Mother Sita. Though these 2 verses are like pranam mantras for Lord Ram and Mother Sita. Very, very important. Please repeat. Ekapatni vratadharo Rajarshi Charitah Shuchi Swadharmam Grihamediyam Shikshayan Swayan Achara. Translation. Lord Ramachandra took a oath to accept only one wife and have no connection with any other woman. He was saintly king and everything in his character was good, untinged by qualities like anger. He taught good behavior for everyone, especially for householders in terms of Varnashrama Dharma. Thus, he taught the general public by his personal activities. Premnanuvrutyaya shilena prashraya vanat satihi prashraya vanatah sati bhyarhiya cha bhavagnya bhartu sitarhan manaha. Mother Sita was very submissive, faithful, shy and chaste, always understanding the attitude of her husband. Thus, by her character and her love and service, she completely attracted the mind of the Lord. So as I said, Ramayana is very, very sweet. So there is a folklore story that comes that, once, in the Ayodhya, that when Hanuman was sitting and hearing the glories from the Ramayana from another person, Lord Ram was walking on the road. And when he heard how the whole Ramayana happened, even Ram also came and sat there along with Hanuman and heard the whole Ramayana. And not only that, we see that when Lava and Kusha, being sent by Valmiki Maharshi, came to Ayodhya and were singing the glories of Lord Ram and Ramayana everywhere in the town, Lord Ram personally called them, made them to sit and heard the entire Ramayana. So Ramayana is considered to be as very, 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 very sweet and very, very devotional filled. And especially if we have to learn how to serve a master, how to develop the relationship between the master and the servant, it is from Ramayana how Lord Ram and Bharat and Lakshman, the way they dedicated themselves completely to Lord Ram, we can understand how to develop this service attitude. So as we hear the pastimes that are being mentioned in the Ramayana, it's very much true. Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subramaya ki jai, Gaurangi Bangaloreshwar ki jai, Nitaji ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So it's very, very true that we will also develop an aspiration to develop these qualities. So as all of us know that, when Ram, Lakshman, Sita went away from Ayodhya and entered the forest, so all the series of events that happened, that Guha, catches Lord Ram on his shoulder and crosses the boat, making them sit so that Lord Ram should not touch the boat, because Lord Ram kept his leg on stone and it turned into Ahalya. And if he keeps his leg on my boat, it may turn into some other fish and I lose my job. But actually, Guha, in his past life had in the form of tortoise, was not allowed to touch the feet of Lord Vishnu. So that's why he came as Guha, and now he bathed the lotus feet of Lord Ram, made him sit and crossed. Then after that, Bharat also comes with all the whole kingdom. So all the prajas in the Ayodhya were thinking, if Lord Ram is not staying here in the city, what is the use of staying in the city? Let us all go to forest and make the forest only as kingdom. So all the whole Ayodhya came in enraged, and the famous pastime of Ram Bharat Milan happens. And after that, what happens is we are going to discuss. So what happened after that? Ram, Lakshman and Sita enters Dandakaranya forest. So there in the Dandakaranya forest was such a beautiful ashrama. It is said that Lord Ram, Lakshman and Sita spent more than 10 years in just Dandakaranya forest. So such is the very. So this Dandakaranya forest was very, 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 very beautiful, filled with flowers, filled with many, many birds chirping, and filled with many, many rivers. So it was so enchanting for them to stay. So when Ram, Lakshman, Sita were following in the Dandakaranya, so Ram was standing in the front, and in between was Mother Sita, and at the end was Lakshmana. So when all of them were going, so what happened? So we are going to see the series of events which are very, very instructive and helpful for all of us as sadhakas to learn. So this Dandakaranya, though it was very, very beautiful, was filled with many, many Rakshasas. Many, many Rakshasas. And we also see it was also filled with many, many Rishis who were also being tormented by Rakshasas. So now, when all three of them were walking in the Dandakaranya forest, the demon who came to attack Ram, Lakshman, Sita was a Rakshasa who was very, very fearful to see. So this Rakshasa, his whole body was filled with blood stains. He was wearing the skin of a lion, from which the blood was dripping right when he came to attack. And not only that, when he came to attack, he had a spear in his hand, whose that whole spear was being what you call speared with it had three faces of lions in that spear. It had three faces of lions and two faces of wolves, four faces of tigers, and 10 faces of the deers, and one big head of the elephant. And looking at it, and the whole spear was being tainted with blood, and the blood was dripping at. So suddenly when Lord Ram and Lakshman sees that such a demon has come, who's very very fearsome, before even they go attack, what happens? This demon Rakshasa goes and catches Mother Sita. He takes Mother Sita from the hand of Ram and Lakshman. And Ram starts thinking, Are Lakshman, who is this demon that has come to take away my Sita? This vulnerable creature catching the hand of Mother Sita is giving me more pain than the death of my father. So please, let us do. Lakshmana tells, my dear Ram, why are you thinking like this? It's the time to attack. Let us go and attack this demon. So that time what happens? Ram and Lakshman starts to fight with this Rakshasa. So this Rakshasa, was such a fearsome that he had got immunity from all the weapons in the whole creation. So that time Ram and Lakshman catches this demon and severs them, beats them, and shoots the arrow towards this, but still he is not going to die. So what happened is, there's a demon when had got a boon that he cannot be killed by anyone else and from any other weapon. So that time when Ram understood this, that he cannot be killed, though they were smashing him like anything left and right, so much he was being killed or beaten up, but still nothing was happened. So that time Lord Ram tells to Lakshman that he should be buried in the earth. So Lord Ram, when he's beating the demon like this, the demon becomes unconscious. So that time Lord Ram tells to Lakshman, dig a hole so that we can bury him alive. So that time when Lakshman is digging the hole, what happens is that this demon again comes to consciousness. So that time this demon, when he comes to consciousness, he tells to Lord Ram, oh Lord Ram, I am able to remember who I was in my past life. So he tells that in the past life I was one of the Gandharva who had ran behind with lusty desires behind Ramba. And because of this, I was cursed to take birth as Viradha, the demon who's there. And the only way that could be killed me by is by burying. So please bury me as early as possible and send me to the Gandharva Loka so that I can sing your glories. So as soon as Lakshman digged, and they call it as Icha Samadhi, they tell, no? So like that they buried the Viradha in the soil and he died. And so before dying, what happened is, one of the instructions that this demon gives to Lord Ram is that you have to go in a nearby, there is a great sage living called as Sarabhanga. There is a great rishi living in the nearby residence called as Sarabhanga. So my request to you, he has something very very important task for you. Please go and meet him. So like that he sends Lord Ram, Lakshman and Sita to go to Sarabhanga. So these events are very very important because they build up to come to the point where Mother Sita has been taken away by Ravana. So the climax today, what we are going to discuss is how Ravana takes away Mother Sita, if in case permits before the time. So why he is sent to Sarabhanga? So when Lord Ram approached Sarabhanga, what happened was, there the Sarabhanga was sitting in his asana, and when Lord Ram approached his rishi, his ashrama, he saw Indra was personally speaking to this Sarabhanga. Indra was personally present, and when Lord Ram saw Indra is speaking, he got amazed. This sage is so great that Indra is coming to talk. So it means I have to go and take his shelter and his blessings. So that time what happened? The Lord Ram, Mother Sita and Lakshman goes to the ashrama of Sarabhanga and he asks, oh great sage, we are so fortunate that we have come into your ashrama, into your shelter today to take your blessings, that I was amazed to see Lord Indra talking with you. So please let us know if it is good for us what was Indra speaking to you? So that time, the Sarabanga tells that I have only come because that I was supposed to go to Brahmaloka, but because Indra had come and requested the time has come for me to go to Sarabanga, to go to Brahmaloka, but what had happened is that I wanted to take your darshan. That's why I did not wanted to go there. After your darshan, I wanted to go to Brahmaloka. So that time what happened? So Sarabanga served Lord Ram, Mother Sita and Lakshman very very nicely, and after that he went back. So before going, what happened? All the rishis that were there, they came to Lord Ram and requested, so please let us, what you call, being tormented by the demons present, Rakshasas present in this Aranya, so please give us protection. Please give us protection. So Lord Ram tells, yes, I am going to give protection to all of you. So that time what happened is very very important. So all the three of them goes to one of the place in the Dandakaranya forest and sits at one place, and Lord Ram is catching his bow and he's what you call, nicely making it tighted and tied so that he can kill the Rakshasas. So seeing this, Mother Sita, in the whole Ramayana, if you see, this is the only instance where we find Mother Sita is going to give instructions to Lord Ram. Nowhere ever we are going to find where Mother Sita is going to tell to Lord Ram, do like this, don't do like this. But this is the only instance where Mother Sita tells. So what had happened? The whole forest, Lord Ram was always spending so much of his time with bow and arrow. Always catching the bow and tying. Sometimes it so happens like, say for example, say if we have purchased a new smartphone or a new laptop, it so happens that wherever we go, we catch it and keep walking and keep searching what are the things that is there. So something like that, Lord Ram also was having this bow and catching everything. So Mother Sita tells, my dear Lord Ram, in this world, with these three type of activities, people commit sinful activities. So those three things are, if somebody speaks false speech, that is considered to be as a sin. False speech means front you speak one thing and in the back you speak another thing. So it's more of type calling as duplicitous speech or false, what you call, telling some things which is the not way they are there. So this is considered as a sin. And the second aspect that is considered to be as a sin is to have in relationship with another man's wife is considered to be as the most sinful activity in the Vedic tradition. And the third aspect is to have cruel mentality to those who are not inimical, to develop the cruelty behavior towards those living entities who are not inimical in nature. So Mother Sita tells these three are considered to be as very very sinful. So now why Mother Sita said? So Mother Sita started to said, in the long time before, there was a rishi living in this forest. His name is not mentioned in Valmiki. So he's a great rishi. So what had happened? This rishi was performing tapasya to such a great extent. In one person is there in the whole creation who becomes afraid. Who is that? Indra. So Indra became very very afraid that this rishi is performing so much of tapasya. What if he is thinking of to occupy one of my posts? So I have to disturb him. So the Indra came in disguise as a king with a big shining laden with gold jewelries, the big sword. With that he came to this rishi. And when this rishi is doing tapasya, Indra came and said, my dear rishi, I am going by nearby for a small, what you call, performing religious duties. Can you please take care of this sword? Can you please take care of this sword? He gives the sword and tells, please have this sword with you till I return back, what you call, when I come back, please give it back to me. So Indra gives this sword to this rishi and goes off. And now the rishi is waiting, 1 day passed, 2 days passed, that king did not come only. That king did not come only. So third day he thought, if I keep this sword here in the ashram and go, what if somebody comes and takes this sword and goes away? So what he did, he took the sword and went to the jungle for what you call bringing roots and fruits. So when he was plucking the roots and fruits, what happened is suddenly he thought, this sword is there so nice, why have to waste my energy in plucking the fruits and roots from my hand? So let me use this sword. So he took the sword and started to, cut the apples, cut the jackfruit, cut the mangoes, whatever was present there, he was cutting it with the sword. And he saw, amazing. This sword is amazing. It is making my activities, or it's making my seva so fast. So let me do it. So it became a regular practice for him to take the sword to cut roots and fruits. Suddenly, over a period of time, after some weeks passed, he used the same sword and started to see whether it harms the animals or not. And he was plucking small animals. And as it developed, the number of days went on, he started to become so cruel towards the living entities. He started to become a great hunter. So where is great Rishi and where is a great hunter? So such a elevated person, Rishi, became downgraded to such an extent, he became a great person who was committing the high amount of sinful activities. So Indra was very, very happy. And what happened after that? The same Rishi was there. He went to the hell because of engaging in cruel mentality, or cruel activities as such. So now for us this is very, very important. How it is very, very important? So we need to understand that things which look that I can engage them in the service of Lord Ram. What happens over a period of time, because of development of this mentality of wanting to harm ourselves or others, we end up than becoming a great Rishi to become a great sinner. Very, very careful. And I remember in the year 2016 or 2017, His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrut Swami Maharaj had come. So Maharaj was giving class in one of the temples. I am quoting the reference so that devotees don't misunderstand me, or devotees don't point towards me. So Maharaj gave this whole pastime, he explained this. So and he said, this sword, what was there in the hand of Rishi in that Treta Yuga or whatever Satya Yuga, in Kali Yuga it is present as not as a sword, rather it is present as a smartphone. It is present as smartphone, or say tab, iPod, whatever you call it as. It's present as that. You have to be very careful, Prabhus. Why? Because it looks so nice that we can do that, we can do this, and my Lord, 5 years before smartphone was so advanced, and I don't know now how much it's much more advanced. I remember sometimes, one devotee, we were all standing in, for taking a group photo. So when all of us were taking group photo, I was surprised that, one of the devotees who was supposed to take photo, he was not going to take photo from the phone which was kept there. And I was wondering, why this devotee is, so much that he's not going and taking photo. Is he expecting some other devotee to go and take the group photo or what? I was like, why this devotee is, so much having that he also has to be there in the photo as such. I said, Prabhu, you should go and take photo. He said, Prabhu, already photo is taken as such. I was surprised. How come already the photo is taken? No, Prabhu, the mobile is kept there, but it's connected to smartwatch. So the mobile is kept there, but I clicked the photos right here, and he said, see the photos which are there. It has come so nicely. I was wondered, my God, to what extent the days have gone as such. That, what things you cannot think of have come in this month. We have to be very careful, Prabhus. There are so many devotees. One Maharaj was making a statement, the greatest enemy to the practicing committed devotees in ISKCON is smartphone. So Mother Sita is telling to Lord Ram that if you catch this bow and arrow for long time, it's going to bring up the cruel mentality. So similarly, it's very, very important that we have to be very careful in utilization of this. So that's why we have some things to make sure that the smartphones are properly used as such. So that is good way. That is something like to keep something in control as such. So now after Mother Sita said this story to Lord Ram was very, very happy. He said, only a person who is very, very dear to the other person will speak so frankly, or only that person who is loud will try to give advice to the another person. So Lord Ram tells that yes, I accept whatever you tell, but the promise that I have given to the sages that I am going to protect them, for me that is very, very important than all the other aspects as such. So that's why I have to have this bow and arrow. So that happens, and then what happens is Ram, Lakshman, Sita continues further, and when they continue further, they come to the place where there was one beautiful lake, and from the lake there was some nice song, some nice melodious music was coming from the lake. And Lord Ram thought, what is this? How come from the lake the sound is coming? They tried, to find somebody. Nobody was there. So there was one rishi called as Dharmabrata. So that Dharmabrata rishi started to tell the history of why the sound is coming from this lake. So what had happened, some years before, there was one sage that was living in this place called as Mandakarni. So this sage was sitting in meditation for more than 10,000 years and was performing tapasya. Then again one person became disturbed. Who is that? Indra. So I thought, this sage is doing so much of tapasya, what if he is going to take away my post? So he sent 5 apsaras to disturb his meditation. So one thing for very sure, that if you become intense in our practice of devotion service, it is mentioned in the 11th canto that there will be obstacles in the path. I mean, not like, say what you call the gender based as such. Whoever we are, in any form, the obstacles can come as such. And it's not like, say, this one, maybe it could be in the form of, say, different companies also, what you call, 5 apsaras are mentioned. Say, for us, we can think it of, in the name of 5, what you call, company names, Samsung, Apple, Strawberry, or, whatever you call it as, the fruits, what we call, that can come as such. So, we have to be very careful as such. And it's in the form of many obstructions, in the form of people also it can come as such. So, these 5 apsaras came and they did bhanga of this meditation. So, this sage, what you call, who got bhanga by the 5 apsaras, got married with all 5 of them, and he made a house in the lake inside. And there all the 5 apsaras are nicely singing for him, and he's there only. And what you call, he did not elevate to his consciousness. So then what happened is, when they were continuing like this, they came to the another rishi's place called as Sutikshna. So by the time they were going like this from ashram to ashram, 10 years of their vanavas had passed off. So after almost like 10 years, they came to the place called as the ashram of the place called as Sutikshna. So the Sutikshna was so happy to receive Ram, Lakshman and Hanuman. Ram, Lakshman and Sita. He served wholeheartedly all of them. And what happened? Lord Ram had a thought in the mind that I heard somewhere in the nearby there is a ashrama of Agastya Muni. Agastya, correct na? So can you please tell me how to go? So that time Sutikshna guides our 3 of them to go to the ashram of Agastya. So when all the 3 of them reached the vicinity of Agastya, Lord Ram tells to tell the glory of Agastya Rishi, which is very amazing. So what had happened, once in this particular place there were 2 demons living called as Ilvala and Vatapi. Heard of them? Heard of them? They are like, what you call, terror, that people are there, who go in disguise, they put their bombs and, go in the people, suicide bombers or, serial hunters, something like that. So these all, what you call demons, Rakshasas, used to kill the rishis present in the forest like that. So this Ilvala and Vatapi were such a, what you call heinous Rakshasas. This Vatapi used to become, the form of male sheep, used to take the form of male sheep. And whichever rishis, what you call were there in the vicinity, this Ilvala will disguise himself as Brahmana and invite all the Rakshasas invite all the sages for, feast. And they used to cut this ram or the male sheep and used to feed to the rishis unknowingly. So when the sages used to eat this Vatapi and used to go in the stomach, this Ilvala used to call, "Oh my dear brother, Vatapi, please come outside." So just like the male sheep, with its 2 horns, how it comes to dash. So same like that, this Vatapi used to break open the stomachs of the rishis and used to come out. And what happened? All the rishis used to die because of this. So one day, understanding, how this Ilvala and Vatapi were cruelly killing, so many sages, the demigods requested Agastya Muni to go as an invitation for this Ilvala and Vatapi. So that time when what you call Agastya went, the same procedure. So this Vatapi will turn into sheep, cut him, and again make, and what you call fed the Agastya Muni. And Agastya Muni ate it, whatever was being fed. Now Ilvala called out very nicely, "Oh my dear Vatapi, please come outside." Then what happened? Agastya Muni gave a burp. He gave a burp. So when he gave a burp, what happened? The Vatapi was not able to come out of the stomach of the Agastya Muni. So that time, the Agastya said to the Ilvala, ki, "I digested your brother." He has gone as a form of nutrition to my whole body now. He will not be able to come outside. So that time, what you call, Ilvala becomes so enraged, he started to attack Agastya Muni. So with the anger glance, Agastya burned down the Ilvala. And all the demigods became very, very happy. So again, very, very important instruction is that, what you call, troubling the Brahmanas is the most worst activity that we can do in the whole universe. And we know in the whole scriptures how the people who have troubled the Brahmanas or the Vaishnavas, have ended up only in, their own death as such. So this Vatapi and Ilvala were being killed. So now Agastya, seeing that Ram, Lakshman and Sita have come to the ashrama, became so happy because he was a Trikala Gnani and he knew that they're going to come. So now what happened? Agastya, becoming so happy, he gave the bow, which is called as the bow which was used by Lord Vishnu and made by Vishwakarma to Lord Ram. And what you call the wife of Agastya also became so happy to see Mother Sita, who is walking in the footsteps of Lord Ram, not seeing the troubles that she has to undergo in the path. Actually, if you see what you call the lotus feet of both Mother Sita and Lord Ram were considered to be more softer than lotus petals. Especially after the marriage, Mother Sita and Ram were coming on the chariot. So that time, what you call, when Mother Sita touches the feet of Lord Ram, she tells, your feet are more softer than the lotus feet. So the conversation happens, because this is again, seen afterwards when what you call Hanuman comes back. This story is narrated by Hanuman to Lord Ram. So, but Lakshman was undergoing so much of pain to serve Lord Ram and Mother Sita. So it is said for the 14 years of Vanavas, Lakshman had taken a vow to remain brahmachari and not to sleep any of the day or any of the night as such. So only because of that he had got the power to kill Indrajit, Meghanath afterwards. So we can see how Lakshman was so dedicated to serve. So wherever Ram and Sita used to go, Lakshman used to clear the whole area, cut down the what you call shrubs, herbs, thorns, whichever were there, and make a nice place for both Mother Sita and Ram to be served as such. So it's very, very important to see how to develop the service attitude from the life of Lakshmana. So now what you call is, when Agastya got the Vishnu bow and Mother Sita received many, many jewelries and garland which could never be faded from the wife of Agastya, they were very happy to stay and they passed some time. Then they asked to Agastya, "Can you please suggest a place where we can go ahead and stay?" So that time, the plan of the whole demigods for bringing them to bring to the point to kill Ravana. So they said, Agastya said to Lord Ram to go to nearby place which is there called as Panchavati. So that is the place where Lord Ram goes. So they go to the Panchavati. So now staying in Panchavati, what happened is that when they were walking to go towards Panchavati, so they saw one of the gigantic vulture that came upon, and Ram thought it is a Rakshasa, but they understood that it is not Rakshasa, it is Jatayu. And Jatayu becomes so happy to see Lord Ram, and when Lord Ram asks, "Who are you?" So that time Jatayu tells that when Kashyapa had married the 8 wives of Daksha, so who are they? Vinata and Tamasa. They had given birth to Aruna, boy called Aruna, and daughter called Shaini. So when Aruna and Shaini got married, they gave birth to Jatayu. So I am that great Jatayu. Jatayu and Sampatti. है ना? So Jatayu also tells that ki I am very very close friend of your father Dasharatha. So that time what happens? Jatayu becomes so happy to meet the Supreme Lord and also the son of Dasharath. He tells, in this forest there are many Rakshasas living. If there is any danger that is going to implicate you, I am going to protect you. And not only that, whenever you are out of the cottage, and when Sita is alone, I am going to personally protect Mother Sita from those Rakshasas. So he gives that, and Jatayu flies along with Ram, Lakshman, Sita into the forest of Panchavati. And now comes, which is very very important. So this Panchavati was a very very beautiful place. So Ram, Lakshman, Sita made a beautiful cottage on the banks of Godavari to stay. And when they were living there, one fine day, early morning, when Ram and Lakshman had gone to Godavari to take bath and come back, and they were conversing about how to perform religious duties, suddenly there comes one Rakshasi, and her name is Shurpanaka. What you call, I could not prepare the PPT as such, but it's very, nice to see her. So this Shurpanaka was the sister of Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Vibhishana, Khara and Dushana. So she was the sister of all of them. And if you look at her beauty, the description comes. So now seeing the beauty of Lord Ram, she became so much, her love, became so much increased towards Lord Ram. She thought that I have to marry now this Ram. So this, Shurpanaka, the beauty of her is described so much in the Valmiki Ramayana. Whoever hears this beauty of Lord Ram and Shurpanaka in this conversation will be able to understand the real beauty of this material world, which the present generation is trying to, impress the people of. So it is said, Lord Ram, was when he was seen by Shurpanaka, her heart got melted and her heart got filled with saturation of so much of love by looking at the beauty of Lord Ram. So it is said, what was the beauty of Lord Ram? So Lord Ram was greenish in complexion. It is like you take green color and you put gold powder in that. When you make it nicely, mixed together, and when you put somewhere, so the greenish, the hue that comes, golden hue that comes. So that was the complexion of Lord Ram. And his eyes were very, very beautiful in, in looking. It was touching the ears as such. And he was kind of a human filled with the God of love. And the body that he had was so well built, proportionated, that it was very, very attractive to look upon. So the whole, the appearance of Lord Ram looked like he is from a royal descendants, and his body was very, very muscular. So looking at this, what happened to Shurpanaka? She fell in love with Lord Ram. So what is this beauty? We'll understand over a period of time, was this a real attraction or false attraction? But on the same side, what was the beauty of Shurpanaka? It is said she had the most ugliest face in the whole creation. And the whole chest of her was completely dried and withered. The stomach of her was so much protruding. You might have seen, right? When people sit, the whole stomach comes outside. So she had a belly with, protruding belly as such. And not only that, her age looked to be like middle age. People when they just enter old age, how do they look like? She was looking like that. And not only that, her whole hairs was copper colored. When I read this, I was shocked that nowadays generation, we are not supposed to look at that. Sometimes people color different colors to their hairs, both boys and girls. When Shurpanaka means both boys and girls. I'm shocked, how come they change this color from black to white, black to copper, black to, I don't know what they do as such. I'm still in doubt whether that color goes away after some time or it remains permanently as such. So this kind of things were there in the past also, where they are also due to. So not only that, she had one of the things that she can change her form to any other creature at her own will. So now seeing Lord Ram, she became so much enthralled, she forgot to change her ugly appearance. She forgot to change her ugly appearance. And in the same form, she went to Lord Ram and said, "Oh, my dear handsome boy, handsome, husband, so nicely, you are there. Who are you? You are dressed in such a nice, ascetic way. You have matted your hair and you are wearing your bow and, having that, woman kept under you. So why have you come to this region where there are so many Rakshasas? So please tell, I want to know about you." So Lord Ram, he explained the whole thing and why he came to the exile and asked in return back to Shurpanaka, "Who are you?" So that time Shurpanaka said that, "No, I am Shurpanaka, I am sister of so and so and so, and I live in this forest." And she was taking so much of, happiness in describing about her wonderful Vaishnava qualities. So she was telling that, when creatures look at me, they become very, very fearful. And she was thinking, this is such a nice Vaishnava, Vaishnava quality as such. She tells, "I am more powerful than all my brothers put together." Whoever was there as such. And she said, "Now my mind is in love for you so much, I want to accept only you as my husband and nobody else as such. So please, why are you keeping such a ugly looking face?" Who is Mother Sita? Her body is so deformed. You see how, her skin is, such a soft, it is not at all enjoyable. Please reject her. She goes on explaining the beauty of Mother Sita, ki it is not worth to be there with her. Rather, you have to enjoy me. You have to stay with me. So Lord Ram and, Lakshman understands that, who is she and what is she speaking all about. So that time Lord Ram tells to Shurpanaka that, it is so nice to hear from you, but only thing is I am already married to this lady called Sita. So if you, become my wife, you will have to remain as a servant, to her. So I don't want. Rather you see my brother here on the other side, that is Lakshman. So you have to get married to him. He is unmarried and he is much, much more powerful and stronger than you. Why don't you get married to him? And as soon as Lord Ram said this, Shurpanaka became happy. She said, yes, you are already married. Why I have to remain as a maid servant to you? Rather I will become wife of Lakshmana. And she turned herself to Lakshman and starts to tell, "Oh my dear, beautiful, young, handsome man, I want to get married to you. Please, please accept me." This, shows the people, sometimes they appreciate the beauty of the Lord. At the same time, when they go outside and see the false, fading material beauty, they appreciate that also. So that shows that we are actually not the ones, who are like Goswamis appreciating the beauty of the deities. Rather, we may be following the footsteps of Shurpanaka. Here also, yes boss, and there also, yes madam. So that is like that. So we have to be very careful that, only to attract us. So that's why Hanuman tells very beautiful shloka. Please repeat this shloka. Srinate Janaki Nate Nate Janaki Nat Chabeda Paramatmani Tatapi Mama Sarvasva Rama Kamalalochana. So Hanuman tells Srinate Janaki Nate Ja Abeda. I know between the husband of goddess of fortune, that is Mother Lakshmi, and the husband of Mother Sita, that is Lord Ram, there is no difference as such. But my love is only for Lord Ram, who is having Rama Kamalalochana. So, Hanuman is considered. Why? Because we see when Hanuman in the Sundarakanda had gone to Lanka and he saw, thousands and thousands of ladies surrounding Ravana. And there was nobody to watch whether he was properly doing his duty or not. But still, Hanuman remained chaste to Lord Ram in not wanting to, lost away by looking at the beauty of these ladies. Rather, he said, I have come here for only purpose to render service and he continued on to his service to find out Mother Sita. So it's very, very important for all of us to understand the nature of this material world. So there are two things that is there in this world: form and substance. So many times we get lost by the form that we see with our eyes. So that's why it is very important. It is said in the scriptures that we should never get lost by looking at the form of the items that are there in this. Rather, we need to see the substance. Like for example, if you see what is form and substance, you see we many times consider whoever is wearing dhoti kurta and tilak, him to be as devotee as such. But the real devotee definition comes how much substance or the devotion he has towards Krishna or Lord Ram. Like for example, if you see Shabari's beauty, if you consider what you call with others, what was the beauty that Mother Shabari had? She was like, very, very old. If you look at the photos of Mother Shabari, it's like, what you call, she does not have any beauty as such. But the devotion when we look at, it is, what you call so high. She was waiting in the Rishi of Matanga for thousands of years for waiting for Lord Ram to come. And every day literally she was collecting the kapita fruits, berries. Even now if you go in Hampi, which we are all going after a month for the Hampi Yatra, you'll get an opportunity to see this Matanga Parvata or the Gufa where Mother Shabari stayed as such. So if you are all happy, you should tell loudly, Haribo! Haribo! It's a youth yatra. I think I'm not supposed to advertise it here. So what happened? I mean it is there for others. So what is it? These kapita fruits are there even today. So such a austere, gufa it is. There is no, even now, even today also you can go and see the gufa there. There is no, it's fully filled with darkness and very, very deep. And that too, the whole surrounding is surrounded by, so many mountains. Very difficult to stay as well. So she stayed there, what you call, had a beautiful Pampa Sarovar, and it is said Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took bath in this Pampa Sarovar, which is there. And this is the place also which has many, many other pastimes which we'll discuss there, not here. So what happened, Shabari waited for 10,000 years. So though she did not have the beauty, but she had the beauty of devotion. So the beauty of a person has to be decided not based on the outer look, but based on the devotion that the person has. Correct na? Similarly, if you see what you call Kubja, what beauty she had. But when Krishna asked, please give me the sandalwood pulp, without even considering any spice that they will look at her, she applied the chandan to Lord Krishna. And because of this, what happened? Krishna made her beautiful. So similarly, any person who engages his senses or who engages himself in the service of Lord Ram and Lord Krishna, what happens is the whole baggage of the sin that is there on our back, and that's why what you call, we are also considered as kubjas only. So what happens when we engage ourselves in the service of the Lord? What happens? We become beautiful. So the devotion is the one which determines the beauty of the person and not this one. So what happened? Coming back to here, so now Shurpanaka went back to Lakshmana, that I want to marry you. So when, what you call, Lakshmana saw Shurpanaka, he became, he wanted to laugh so much. He said that, you see, Shurpanaka, I am after all brother of this Lord Ram. If you marry me, see, I am just servant of servant and I am engaged only in the service of this Lord Ram. So if you get married to me, what you have to become? You have to become maid servant of, Lord Ram as well. So better you get married to Lord Ram only, and one day, this ugly Sita is there. So, comparing your beauty with Sita, Lord Ram will give up her in the coming days and will stay only with you. So better you stay with Lord Ram only. And what you call, Shurpanaka again turned herself to Lord Ram ki, yes, what Lakshman says is very, very true, that I have to get married to you only. And Shurpanaka, what you call, understood that the whole cause of the confusion between Lord Ram and Lakshman is Mother Sita. She thought, let me better kill this Sita and get married to one of them. So she charged towards Mother Sita, and Ram tells to Lakshman, hey Lakshman, what kind of ideas you are giving to this Shurpanaka that she's going ahead to kill Mother Sita. So please, stop her at once. So disfigure her. So that time Lakshmana proceeds forward and cuts her nose and ears. And what you call Shurpanaka shouts like anything. She cries and tells that I am going to come back and kill all three of you. And she goes. She goes. And now this Shurpanaka, what you call, who had been disfigured, becomes so much hurted that these two humanly beings have caused such an disfigurement to her. She goes to Khara. She goes first to Khara, and cutting short, and we have hardly 15 minutes more. So what had happened? She goes and requests Khara to send the army to kill this three people, humanly people. So that time Khara requests 14 Rakshasas, head Rakshasas, to go and kill Lord Ram. So, all these 14 people come, 14 Rakshasas come to kill. So, when Ram, Sita, Lakshman is sitting in front of their cottage, all the 14 Rakshasas surround the hut on the cottage. So, that time Lord Ram tells to Sita and Lakshmana, you please go inside, I will take care of them. But actually, Lakshmana goes ahead. In some of the Ramayans, not in Valmiki, it's mentioned that Lakshmana goes. But Lord Ram tells ki, what you call, I want to, what you call, do something, so that Sita is happy. So you go inside and I will fight as such. So what happens is, Lord Ram releases 14 arrows at one shot. And these 14 arrows pierce the heart of these 14 Rakshasas. They fell there bathing in their own blood. And again Shurpanaka goes back to Khara and tells, what kind of person, what kind of Rakshasas you have sent. They all guide, if you really, you should go and fight. Like that, again she charges up, and Khara becomes so angry like a snake on whose head somebody has kept the leg. Very, very difficult to catch. So he comes again with all the armies, again with 14,000 soldiers, with Dushan. So Lord Ram fights so valorously that he kills both Khara and Dushana. So then again what happens? Shurpanaka, becomes so trembled looking at Lord Ram killing Khara and Dushana and so many soldiers. She goes to Lanka, and there in the Lanka she comes in front of Ravana and tells her whole plight. Ki, I went, but these two humans, that this, she tells. And Ravana, who had 10 heads and 20 hands, become so enraged that who have come, people who have dared to kill my own people. So then what happens? He what you call, himself decides to go and kill both of them. So when he comes, what happens is he meets Marichi. Actually, it's mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana that Shurpanaka did not go. Rather, with Khara and Dushana, there was another person called as Anakampa. It's mentioned Anakampa, and he is the one who goes and tells to Ravana. So Ravana comes and meets this Marichi, and what you call, he tells that I have come to kill, but Marichi convinces our Ravana ki if you want to have your life sustained, better you should not be here, go back. So Marichi convinces him and sends him back. So that time again he comes back. So that time was the time where Shurpana comes and describes these two people, and at the same time what she does is that she understands this Ravana is not being instigated to go and attack on my own plight. So she stops telling about her own pain and starts to tell about the beauty of Mother Sita. So she starts telling the beauty of Mother Sita to such an extent that she induces lusty desires in the heart of Ravana. Correct na? So this person who had got convinced from Marichi not to fight against Lord Ram, now again becomes convinced to go and fight Lord Ram. So again he comes all the way back to this Janasthana where all three of them were staying. And there he talks to Maricha. So cutting short, what happened was Maricha again tells him that what had happened during the time of what you call, when Lord Ram had gone with Lakshman along with Vishwamitra. There this Maricha and one more demon was there. Marichi and Subhahu and Marichi. So Subhahu got killed, but Marichi was thrown away 800 miles into the ocean by the arrow of Lord Ram, and he wanted not at all to face the Lord Ram. And not only that, he also tells that ki in the form of stag, this Maricha was traveling in the forest and was killing rishis. And suddenly when he saw at one point Lord Ram also is there, he started, he wanted to take revenge for that. Again that time also what had happened? Lord Ram, what you call, hit the other two friends of this Marichi, and they both got killed, and this Marichi had ran away. So the whole, what you call, this Marichi was living in disguise, fearing Lord Ram, Lord Ram, Lord Ram. Now again, what you call, when this Ravana comes and tells, so Marichi tells, no, I cannot come because I don't want to get killed. That time Ravana tells, if you don't come, you will kill in my hands. If you go there, at least you may get saved. So either you want to be there or here, you choose. But if you do the service, I am going to give half of my kingdom to you. So please, do what you want to do. So that time Maricha tells that, better to die than in your hands, let me die in the hands of Lord Ram, which the Acharyas tell is not considered as a great service. Is not considered as a great service, that what Maricha thought, let me die in the hands of Lord Ram and separate Mother Sita and Lord Ram. That is not considered as a highest service. So Maricha takes the form of beautiful deer with silver spots on his whole body, and the horns which it had was having studded with jewelries which were looking very, very beautiful. And taking this form, Maricha comes in the place where, in the Panchavati, where Mother Sita was plucking flowers. So when Mother Sita saw this deer which was looking very, very attractive, so she got enchanted and she got a desire, let me have this deer with me. And since hardly 2 to 3 years, or say one year was left actually. So 1 year is left. If I have this deer with me, when I go back to Ayodhya, I can have this deer with me in the kingdom where all of them can be happy by looking at this. Kaushalya, Kaikeyi, all of them will be happy to see this deer as. So let me take and go back. So when she desired that and calls Lord Ram and Lakshman, please come and see such a beautiful deer, I want this. So Lord Ram tells ki, Mother Sita, want to have this deer, let me get it. But Lakshmana tells, my dear Lord Ram, let us be careful. I know in the whole creation, all the species have come from me. I know all the species, 84 lakh species. And I can tell this species, what you are seeing, is not in my list. So please don't get illusion to go behind this deer. Rather I can tell this is Marichi who has come in the disguise of a deer to entice us and catch Mother Sita and go away. So let us not be entrapped. When Lakshmana was speaking like this, suddenly again Sita interrupts Lakshmana and tells ki, just look, how the beautiful eyes of this deer it is. How amazing, its leg footsteps are so attractive. I want to have this. So she becomes so adamant that though Lakshman resisted, Lord Ram tells that Sita is desiring so much that even if it is a Marichi, let me better kill him, that I could not kill him, let me better kill him, and Rishis will be safe, and things will be done good. So before leaving, Lord Ram tells to Lakshmana, please stay with your bow and arrow and protect Mother Sita, never leave this place. So Lord Ram goes behind the deer. So this deer was such a mystical, it is to run and after some time it is to get disappeared. So Lord Ram is to run behind. And again when he sees that the deer he was not able to see, again it is to become visible, and Lord Ram, I want to catch it, again it is to run ahead again and again. So like this Lord Ram was taken far away from the cottage. And suddenly Ram understood that there is something wrong. So now understanding this, he removes the astra which was given by Brahma. It is called as very, very fiery arrow. So with the fire in the front, so looking or focusing towards this deer, Lord Ram shoots the arrow, and this arrow goes and hits the heart of this deer, and it falls dead in the blood pool. So before falling dead, as a service to Ravana, loudly this deer calls out, "Oh Lakshmana, oh Sita!" Like that he calls out one to two times and dies apart. And as soon as Lord Ram heard, Lakshmana, Sita, please help me, Lord Ram started to become fearful. What is this completely? So when the arrow was hit, this deer again converted back to the form of Marichi and understands that there is some plan made by all the Rakshasas to entice us. So understanding this, suddenly Lord Ram understands and starts to run back to the cottage, and here in the cottage, this voice which Marichi shouted came to the cottage where Sita and Lakshmana was saying. So when Sita heard, this voice, oh Sita, oh Lakshmana, please save me, please help me, Sita became, so much completely in fear and captivated that something harm has happened to Lord Ram. And she tells to Lakshmana, oh my dear Lakshmana, please go and protect your brother. But Lakshmana, knowing all the plan, he was completely indifferent to Mother Sita, whatever she was telling. She's telling, shouting, go, go, but Lakshmana is with his bow and arrow and doing his own things. So then Mother Sita tells to Lakshmana, I know why you are completely indifferent. I know the whole plan for what purpose you have come here. The only purpose that you have come here is to find an opportunity where Lord Ram is not there and to enjoy me. So only for this purpose you have come, and I can tell you that even if Lord Ram dies, but I am not going to be touched by you. Rather, I will die myself, but not going to be caught. So that time, Lakshmana tells to Mother Sita, my dear mother, how can you tell like this? Till now I have not even looked at your face. I have only looked at your feet and spoken. How can you, think of that I am going to enjoy? Rather understand it's all by the plan of Rakshasas, and it's the Marichi who has shouted and not Lord Ram. Lord Ram cannot be defeated by any demon or demigod as such. He is completely harmless. So please don't be restless, stay back, Lord Ram will come. But again, what you call Mother Sita tells, you are like that, you are like this, and such a sharp word she uses to Lakshmana, understanding that Lakshmana, Mother Sita, the whole plan, what you call Lakshmana understands that, since you are speaking such a sharp words, I will go. But be careful for the things that are going to happen and stay inside the hut, and there is whole plan that is going on. And Lakshman tells this, and he goes off. So when he goes off, the Lankadipati, that is Ravana, taking the disguise of saffron robes with kamandalu, all those things, comes there to want to enjoy, to want to take Mother Sita. So again, very, very important, the Acharyas tell that how the Maya comes to capture the Jiva from the service of Lord Ram and Lakshman. So she was so much engaged in the service, but just because of the what you call independent mentality, or having that particular nature of something is going to happen. So what happened is she fell prey to the whole plan of Rakshasas. So Ravana comes in the disguised form. So different, again Ramayanas tell different versions. So Valmiki Ramayana tells he came in the form of Brahmana, and Mother Sita was so much what had happened to Lord Ram. So that time the Ram comes and tells my dear Sita, what you call, and he starts to beautifully glorify her beautiful body parts in the way of enjoying, and tells that why are you staying in such kind of place? Please get married to somebody like me, and you should not stay in this kind of place. So though he is wearing the dress of a sadhu, but what he was speaking was completely different from what sadhus speak as such. So that is not accepted. But Mother Sita, though what you call, she understood something this one, but still as her religious duty, she called a Brahmana, made her to sit and served the prasad. So that time what happened is, this Ravana was completely incaptivated, not even looking at the service attitude of the mother, the whole mother universe. So she becomes completely covered up with the lusty thoughts, and not able to bear, he turns himself into the Rakshasa and tells, when Mother Sita tells why she has come, and when she asks who are you, so he turns himself and tells, I am Lankadipati Ravana, and catches the hand of Mother Sita and goes. So there, very, very beautifully, Mother Sita compares Ravana with Ravana. So it's very, very important to hear. So I'll just read this and we'll end it there. So Mother Sita tells that no longer able to control his emotions, Ravana excitedly replied, I am Ravana, the king of the Rakshasas. Even great demigods tremble at the mere mention of my name. O faultless, beautiful one, now that I have seen you, I could never again take delight in my other innumerable concerts. My dear Sita, become my principal queen, and you shall have 5,000 maid servants awaiting your command. Leave the forest and enjoy with me in the beautiful gardens of Lanka. So, hearing Ravana, Sita became enraged. She contemptuously replied, I am completely devoted to Ram, who is as steady as rock, as grave as the ocean, and sheltering like a banyan tree. I am devoted to Ram, who is mighty armed and broad chested, whose face resembles the full moon, and who is self controlled and virtuous. Ram is like lion among men, and you, who are like a jackal, want to possess me, a lioness? Would you dare to touch the sun or lift up Mount Mandara? Would you pierce your eyes with a needle or carry a blazing fire in your garment? Would you attempt to swim across the ocean with a boulder tied to your neck? Then why do you dare to consider running away with Ram's wife? Ram is like Garuda and you are but a crow. Ram is the ocean, you are a small puddle. Lord Ram is nectar, you are a stale gruel. Sorry. Ram is nectar and you are still gruel. He is like sandalwood and you are like mud. He is gold, you are iron. Lord Ram is a swan and you are no better than a vulture. You may kidnap me, but as long as Ram lives, you could no more enjoy me than a fly that flounders in ghee. So though Mother Sita spoke all those things, there was fear in her that what will happen. So what had happened? Lord Ravana catches her and flews off. So on this side, when Lakshmana approached Lord Ram again becomes so much, already he is in fearful state, but again watching Lakshmana not with Mother Sita, he becomes much more fearful and tells to Lakshmana, why have you come? So again we can understand what was the consciousness of Lakshmana. So much is spoken about this, state where their Mother Sita also is telling, ki, you are like this. And when he came here, Lord Ram also is telling, why have you come? So sometimes while doing services, we are ended up in this kind of situation where some devotee tells, why did you do like this? And when you do like this, the other devotee tells, why did you do like that? You should do like this. So we are put in that kind of plan. So we have to remember Lakshman within that point of time and remain still situated in established or doing devotional service, not to get disturbed. So both of them come, and this, especially from here is very, very important, because, what you call, though people tell that, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and what you call, Ram is like that. People, put down the position, but actually we need to understand, even in the pastimes of Lord Ram, we can see how Lord Ram also is trying to teach all of us how important it is to develop, to serve in separation. So he separated Mother Sita from him only to teach Mother Sita, only to, give the sweetness of remembrance of Lord Ram in separation. And to also teach, what you call, to the whole world how Lord Ram also cherished to stay for the, that many 10 months in separation from Mother Sita. So if you go to Hampi, there is a temple called Malyavanta Raghunatha temple. So there if you go and see very, very beautiful deities, there is a big boulder, inside it there is a gufa. So inside that there is a deity of Ram, Lakshman and Sita also. Afterwards one king established, and there is Hanuman deity. So we find there Lord Ram is not with any weapon. Rather he is catching his hand like this and is sitting in a yogi posture and thinking of Mother Sita. And that is the place where Hanuman also is present on the side with Chudamani in his hands, which he had brought and given after 4 months. So very, very beautiful. So we'll also get to go to see there and have nice Ram Katha there. So yeah, so what I was saying is that, what you call, the pastimes what Lord Ram and Mother Sita is teaching us in this should completely encaptivate us to not to be disturbed by the nowadays, hodgepodge, hodgepodge, the stories that are being cooked up in the material outside. So Lord Ram, is coming us to completely encaptivate our mind, to completely immerse ourselves in these kind of pastimes. So ending with that, what happened? So when Ravana took Mother Sita and was flying, so there was the great devotee, that is Jatayu, and Jatayu fights, to his, though he was 60,000 years old, but still he fights with Ravana so fiercely that he kills all the donkeys that the, animals that Pushpaka Viman was being driven by. He also kills the chariot driver, he cuts off the armor of Ravana, he, completely scratches the back of Ravana, but because of his old age, he becomes tired in fighting, not able to protect Mother Sita. Though Mother Sita said, just tell Lord Ram that I have been taken away by Ravana. But Jatayu was not able to hold himself, but rather, let me die, but let me serve Mother Sita. So he fights, and taking an opportunity when he become tired, so Ravana cuts off the wings and claws, beak of Jatayu, and Jatayu falls there dead. So what happened after, all the pastime happened, Lord Ram goes, Hanuman finds Mother Sita. So all those things we have discussed in the past, and only Yuddhakand is remaining, maybe that we can discuss sometime what happened. So what happened is, after all of them came back on the day of Diwali, when all the people, so today, all of us are going to celebrate. So what happened, all the people were celebrating the festivity of, coming back of Lord Ram, Mother Sita and Lakshman, with thousands, not thousands, crores and crores of monkeys back to Ayodhya. People were filled with joy. So what happened, Mother Sita was staying in the court, and she saw one person throwing red colors in the air. So when the red colors, went in the air, and when Mother Sita saw this, suddenly she started to cry like anything. She was crying so much, and the whole palace, Lord Ram, everyone came and was asking, why are you crying? Why are you crying? She was not able to contain herself from the, plight of the cry. So that time she tells, when I saw that red color in the air, I remembered Jatayu, when he was being cut off, when the blood splashed from the body of Jatayu, I could not see myself there, in the Panchavati. So I remembered that, and the sacrifice that Jatayu made. And we also know, for the sacrifice that Jatayu made, Lord Ram personally, did the Antyakriya Samskar for, as a father, in the position of father to Jatayu, and sent him back home, back to Godhead. So what is the thing is, like that we see that how Mother Sita and Lord Ram, through all these pastimes, have shown how much they love all the devotees. So it's very, very important for us to contemplate, especially the pastimes of Hanuman, and how much Mother Sita was thinking of Lord Ram being situated in Ashoka Vatika, separated for 10 months, and how Sugriva completely brought the whole army to fight against Ravana, and Lakshmana for the whole years serving so much. So this only increases how much we can develop faith and devotion towards the divine couple, Ram Lakshman, towards Mother Sita and Lord Ram, and try to give ourselves as much as possible in their loving devotion. So just to end with the what you call Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, all of you know Radha Govindji deities, right? Heard of Radha Govindji deities? So if you see, the whole pastime happened, how this Aurangzeb attacked the deities of the Vrindavan. It is the same thing as what happened in today's, coming out from the Ramayana. What you call, on today people are celebrating the building of the, the beautiful temple, magnificent temple for Lord Ram, Mother Sita. So what had happened, the deities were there in the, just I'll take 5 minutes to tell. Is it okay, Prabhu? If in case somebody wants to go, because this may not be knowing so many details, so much of details. 10 hours could be spoken only on the pastime of how Shri Radha Govinda moved from Vrindavan to Jaipur. Before that Amethi, and from there to Jaipur. So this whole thing took 50 years, for Shri Radha Govinda to move from here to Jaipur. It took 50 years. So what happened in that 50 years movement, trying to protect, the devotees trying to protect the deities from this demon king, sorry, not king, this demon ruler. Who is he? Aurangzeb. So very, very, amazing to hear how the devotees tried to protect him. So what had happened, the Radha Govinda temple was being taken care by the disciple of Rupa Goswami called as Kashishwar Pandit on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Jagannath Puri to stay in Vrindavan. So on the the stories that were built, I think it is 10 stories that was built for Radha Govinda. So every story there were diyas that were big diyas that was being lit there. So this diyas was visible from Agra. Such, what you call, so much sparkling they were. So when this Aurangzeb was doing, his namas, what happened is he saw in the sky something like stars glowing. And he asked one of his ministers, what is that? So that time, this, minister who was said, he said, this light, this star's illumination is coming from the temple built by your grandfather. And that is Akbar. So Akbar was the one with, what you call, relationship with Mansingh I and Jiva Goswami had built this temple. So this Aurangzeb, when he heard that such a magnificent temple is being built by his grandfather, and that too for a worship of other religion, he became so angry that he at that spot only where he was doing, he ordered this temple should be brought down to the ground. And next day itself, he sent thousands and thousands of soldiers to go and demolish this beautiful, Shri Radha Govinda temple. So magnificent it was. That only stone was used by the great rulers. Nobody else could use. And that stone was being brought under the guidance of Jiva Goswami with Mansingh to that place as such. So on that day night, one particular spy from the, this Aurangzeb goes with a white horse to Vrindavan and tells to the Pujari, the one of the Goswamis, Pujari, disciple of Narahari Chakravarti Thakur, Narahari Sarkar, I think. So he tells, his name is Shivram Goswami, he tells, so this king in the night, 1 o'clock goes and rings the bell of Shri Radha Govinda. So when he rings, all the devotees from Vrindavan come and they ask what happened. He said, please vacate this place as early as possible, because tomorrow early morning the soldiers are going to come to devour the whole thing here. Please save yourself. So many of them go here and there, and still some devotees not wanting to give, go, because they had considered Shri Radha Govinda as their life, and so did not want it to live and go. So they stayed back. So it is said the next morning when this people came, there was completely massacre. It was said that the Yamuna river, which was in such a illuminating color of whatever the color it is, bright sparkling color, had turned into red color, mixed with the blood of the Vaishnavas. So it was very, very painful to see. And in that night only, Shri Shivram Goswami, this Acharya, takes the deities of Radha Govinda, and along with that many other deities, Radha Govinda, Radha Damodar, Radha Gopinath, and Madan Mohan, they hid in different places. So it is said Radha Shamsundar was, earth was a dig, and in that they had kept the deity which is given by, what you call Rupa Goswami, and they digged it. And Radha Govinda deity was put in a wooden box and tied with the stones and was drowned in the Yamuna. And another deity was put in one of the lake down beneath there. So different ways they hid. But because Radha Raman was very, very small, it was easy to hide. And that's why even today, why do we find Radha Raman still staying there is because of that, because he's small, they could easily hide. But other deities were very, very huge. So they hid, and there was lockdown in the whole town. There was complete lockdown. So all Muslim, what you call the people, whoever was there, and it took 1 month to break down one story of this Radha Govinda's temple. And they looted all the wealth, killed so many Vaishnavas, took so many women and children as slaves. So much was being done. So when the lockdown was cutting in short, what happened is that the Shivram Goswami in the night takes the smoke pot, if he puts that with the what you call kind of substances, if somebody breathes, they fall unconscious. So he put that as if it is a mosquito repellent and walked throughout Vrindavan, and all the soldiers fell unconscious smelling this. So that time when all of them fell unconscious, they removed the deities out and put on the bullock cart and was moved to Radha Govinda. That's why if you go now, sorry, Radha Kund. So if you go to Radha Kund now, we find all the temples of Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda still being present today also. There in very, very secrecy. Though people staying there knew that ki Radha Govinda has come to Radha Kunda, but still they could not go and take darshan. So all the sages, all the rishis, Vaishnavas who were present there, worshipped them under the tree with very, very natural substances like plates and all made up of leaves and all, served for some number of days. And there Shivaram Goswami decides it's not very safe. He writes a letter to the king Man Singh to please come and somehow or other help these deities to reach a safe place. So Man Singh tells, just after some kilometers there is a place which comes under my jurisdiction and these soldiers will not be able to come. If you bring the deities there, I will give all protection. So they put the deities, all the deities, they put in the bullock cart and cover that with the hay and grass and they walk. So Vaishnavas, few strong well-built Vaishnavas stand ahead, some 5-6 in number, 5-6 in behind, and Shivaram Goswami is riding the chariot with the deities completely covered. Whole people in the vicinity knew that in this bullock cart the deities are there, but they cannot tell anybody because there are soldiers that everywhere standing to make sure that the deities, if they come out, we have to break them. So they all are standing they are all on the side of the road with flower, and when when this bullock cart was being taken, they knew that Radha Govinda is going, but they cannot take darshan. So this happens, and afterwards Radha Govinda reach one place, and there Shivaram Goswami serves the deities very, very nicely for almost 27 years in the place, and the soldiers come to give protection. And when soldiers wanted to come, these soldiers come and take over the place, and that place is there even today also. And after that, what happens is Shivaram Goswami, because of his old age, he leaves the body, and Man Singh, who was also very, very close friend of this Shivaram Goswami, also leaves the body. The Man Singh too is considered to be as the one who built all the magnificent temples in Jaipur. Whatever we see is the one who is built by this Man Singh too. So he was a small 13-year-old boy, comes and sees, and he eats laddus cooked by the son of Shivaram Goswami. So Shivaram Goswami's son was sent there, so he made very wonderful sweets. So when this Man Singh too ate, he became very close friend to this devotee, and he tells, bring the deities. So he builds very, very big magnificent temples and brings all the deities there. And till now we see the Radha Govinda are present. So this is very, very short. So many details are there to be added as such. Maybe sometime time permits, we'll discuss. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So remembering all these things, you can just meditate on the whole pastimes that had happened in the past to protect the deities in many temples, and even our ISKCON temples, our devotees in the contemporary world have protected the deities in many ways. And one example we see is Holiness Bhakti Raghav Swami Maharaj, where when the bullet was shot, his leg is not there. So it gives so much of bliss as such. So these things gives for all of us to celebrate, when this kind of occasion happen, to celebrate this festival with so much of heart for the whole history that has happened, being taken by the great people to save the deities. So thank you very much for your patient listening and for giving me an opportunity to speak about Lord Ram and Shri Radha Govinda. So today so many activities are there. You can try to participate with all those things, whatever you heard. And in the future, when time permits, we'll discuss about Yuddha Kanda. Hare Krishna.